Welcome, fellow freaks, geeks, and nostalgic peeps, to my channel, Slime and Slashers, where, yeah, we talk about everything from Nickelodeon slime to horror movie slashers, but plenty of stuff in between, including books. And today, it is another book-themed video, and it is one of my very favorite book-themed videos to do at the end of the year, each year. This is my 24 books to read in 2024! So, of course, last year I made not 23 books to read in 2023, but I actually made 2 lists last year. Am I keeping the tradition? Yes, but we're only going to go through one of the lists today, and the list includes freaking new release horror. It also includes non-horror books like classics. It includes some sci-fi. It even includes, hold on to your butts, some romance. Can you believe it? Mind blown. Who am I? I have been enjoying expanding my reading at the end of 2023, and I want to continue with that in 2024. And I think you'll see that in my choices for my list for 24 to read in 2024. So without further ado, let's go to the short intro. When we come back, we'll get into more deets. Welcome back, guys! I am so pumped to go through with you guys my 24 books to read in 2024. I have been making this list for like 2 weeks, and I think I'm finally happy with it. But before we get into the list and the big reveal, I do want to say a very special thank you to today's video sponsor. This is the second time that I've been working with Louisa, and they're back! They're here to sponsor me yet again, and they sent me some awesome, beautiful new pieces that I gotta say I'm obsessed with. I'm a big ring person, so rings are kind of my favorite. So here's the ring that they sent last time, which is a freaking awesome adult mood ring. You don't have to be a kid back in the 90s to wear one of these now. You could just go to Louisa and get one of these bad boys. But one of the new pieces I picked out for them to send is this very beautiful, very subtle, very dainty ring with this blue stone. So in case you guys missed it last time, Louisa is a great site to visit if you're looking for not only unique jewelry, but jewelry that's not going to break the bank, jewelry that you could actually afford. There are pieces there that start as low as $39. I think that's pretty much a huge steal. They even have a sale going on right now that you don't want to miss out on if you've been thinking about purchasing some of their pieces. Now would be the time because they've got their biggest sale of the entire year going on right now. So if you use my link down below in the description, it's easy, simple. All you have to do is click it. I put it right there for you. By clicking that link, not only are you helping to support me, you're telling Louisa that you like that they are sponsoring my content. So the more clicks of my link, the better. And also it gives you a little something in return. So it's the gift giving season. Find a gift for somebody you know, that special someone who might even be difficult to shop for, or is it a gift for yourself? That's okay too. You guys know my motto, treat yourself. I'm always up for treating yourself, and I'm so excited that Louisa treated me to these beautiful new pieces. I will show you guys some close-ups here that I took when I was unboxing or unpackaging these. Very excited. A heart necklace. I love anything with hearts, so that's why I picked these. My earrings I'm super excited about. I showed you guys in my last Louisa sponsored video, I got a beautiful, dainty, very subtle butterfly necklace. And now I picked out earrings that match the necklace, and I'm so excited. I love butterflies, in case you missed why. My mom and I, we always think of butterflies when we think of my mama, who passed away a number of years ago. But butterflies is kind of like the symbol that we always use to represent her. Butterflies remind us of her. So yeah, I always can't pass up anything that is cute and butterfly themed. And these earrings fit the bill. Super cute, butterfly related, reminds me of my mama, keeping her close. you know, close with me in spirit, so I really love that. It's kind of sentimental reason, but hey, you can find unique pieces. It doesn't have to be something that's sentimental or fancy. My last pair of earrings that I got from Ana Luisa, which I love to wear, especially to go out, they're little slices of pizza, and they're so freaking cute, and they're so me. So if you're tired of the same old jewelry choices, I really think Ana Luisa is great because they've got pieces of jewelry that suit every person's taste, and I just love that. So not only does Ana Luisa have jewelry for every single person and for all different tastes, they have a very varied catalog, as I said, but in addition to that, they also have really high quality products. Every single piece of their jewelry is strength and humidity tested. They do have a 2-year warranty. If you're still on the fence, I think that will make you feel even better about taking the dive and actually purchasing some of their products. Don't forget to use my link down below. So excited that they are back and sponsoring another one of my videos. It means so very much to me to be a VIP partner. I am super pumped. Show Ana Luisa that you are excited that they're partnering with me too, and if you're looking for jewelry, please use my link. It would really mean so much to me. It really does help a creator when you use their custom link. Once again, don't miss out. Biggest sale of the year. Some pieces up to 35% off. It's only going to last for a limited time, so go and check it out using my link. Thank you again, Ana Luisa. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited to be working with you again. Alright guys, now that the housekeeping is out of the way, let's dig in to the list. I do want to preface before I get into any of the reveal that I will be doing a second list that will be paperback from hell / vintage horror themed. So if you see that there are more new release books on this list and different genres on this list, and you're like, where's the paperbacks from hell? Where's all the vintage horror? Have no fear, vintage horror books will be featured in my other video that will be my second list for 2024. It's actually going to be a list of 12 books, but we will get into that when we actually get into that video, which will be coming shortly. So stay tuned for more details, but I'm very excited about that one. So don't worry, I did not just leave off the vintage horror. I did not brush off vintage horror. I did not fall out of love with vintage horror. It's just not on this particular list, because it's got its own special list. That's how important it is to me. So yes, I did not forget about it. It is coming very soon. Okay, first book on the list. This is going to be a freaking sad read. And it was one of the books that my friends actually recommended to me for this year of 2023. However, I did not get to it. And although the year isn't over yet, I don't think I'm going to get to it before 2023 is over. So you know what? I'm putting it officially as the first book on my 24 books to read in 2024. And that is dun 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 dun, Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. This book was originally published in 2020, and my friend Crystal from the channel Fiber Artsy is the one who recommended it to me. I hear that it is a coming-of-age story of sorts, but it is about a woman or a girl, I can't remember, and all I know about it, and this is really all I want to know going in, is that it's sad. And you know what? Sometimes I like a good cry. So a sad book, I don't mind it. I'm ready. I got my tissues, not right now, but I will have my tissues, I should say, and I will be prepared, and I'm really excited because I heard that it's so beautiful and so well written, so it's finally time that I get to it, and 2024 will be the time that I do. The next book on my list is an indie type of book. It is a book by David Sodergren. I think David Sodergren is 100% one of my favorite indie authors. The way he writes horror is so masterful. You actually feel as if you're watching a horror movie when you're reading his books. Very few horror authors today can capture that vibe in book form, where it feels like you're watching a movie, but you're physically reading a book. I think that's a very special talent, a very special skill. David Sodergren is one of the best at doing it, and it's one of the reasons why he is a favorite author of mine. And I want to read way more by him in 2024. But the book that I'm choosing to put on my list for 2024 is Maggie's Grave. I heard so much about this book. My friend Michelle from Michelle's Melancholia, all channels that I mentioned will be linked below, so check her out. She suggested that I read this book, so I'm going to take her suggestion, and I'm definitely going to be reading it in 2024. Next book is another sad book, an emotional book, similar to Betty in that it will be sad, but I think it's going to be a little bit more disturbing, a little bit harder to read, or maybe it'll be just as hard. I don't know. I haven't read either book, so I really don't know yet, but this is just all speculation. I've just heard that this is a difficult read, but I hear also that it's a very fascinating read. So this book on my list is We Need to Talk About Kevin by Lionel Shriver, and it was originally published in 2003. I am really eager to get to it. I believe the essential premise is that these parents are having to deal with their child after I think the child is either planning on committing a school shooting or has committed some kind of mass shooting. And it's just very tough to deal with them. I can't remember if it's like they're worried about the kid doing that or the kid has done that. Either way, you can imagine this is going to be a hard topic to read about. So I am bracing myself, but I want to get to it because I've heard so many great things about it in terms of it's just a very, very well-written book. The next book on my list is Devil's Creek by Todd Kessling. I've had this book for quite a while, and I think it's time I get to it. I have read another book by Todd Kessling, which was Scanlines. It was a tough read, very dark, very bleak. I would look up trigger warnings if you decide to check out Scanlines, but I gave it a 5-star. It was so intriguing, so tense, and again, so bleak. But it was a really well-written story, so I'm glad I read it. I believe this is sort of a cult type of story. I do want to say that I'm not going to go through all of the synopses for every single one of these books, but it's easy when I have the book, you know, the physical copy with me in front of me, so I can give you some details in that case. But just remember, I have not read all these books. If any of these sounded intriguing, or even if the book cover looks, you know, looks pretty good, looks intriguing as well, then check it out, look it up on Goodreads. But I am excited to finally get to this. I really like Todd Kessling's writing quite a bit. So the theme of this list seems to be 2023 releases, even though these are reads for 2024. I'm always a little behind when it comes to new releases, and I don't mind that because I try to diversify my reading and read not just new releases, but old vintage books as well, and I just like to read from a variety of different publishing years. However, this is a 2023 release that I am dying to get to, and I can't believe I have yet to get to it, but I think this would be a great read for April. Essentially, I believe the premise is this woman is looking for her son that has gone missing. Her search leads her to this mysterious island, and the island, I believe, is obsessed with the year, 1994. So although I don't think it takes place in 1994, it's like everyone on this island is almost like stuck mentally in 1994, where they kind of obsess about it. I've heard great things. My friend Katrina from the channel Katrina Brown loved this book, gave it a 5 stars. I've heard great things from other people as well, and I'm so down and I'm so ready, and I love that there's going to be some nostalgic vibes. I love the VHS tape on the cover. I'm sold. I was sold when I freaking pre-ordered it, so I don't know why I haven't gotten to it yet, but 2024, it's gonna happen. The first romance book on the list, and here is another 2023 release. This is The First Date Prophecy. I was hoping to get to this past April. I think it was out by April, I can't remember. But this was written by Danny Tamborelli's wife, and he kind of helped write it too. So yeah, Kate and Danny Tamborelli, as you could see, they're both credited as authors here. I'm very excited because if you don't know who Danny Tamborelli is, or maybe you think his name sounds familiar, who he is he's the actor who used to star in a lot of old school 90s movies and TV shows. Specifically, the thing I know him the most from is from The Adventures of Pete and Pete. He was Little Pete. I love Little Pete. You know, he had the tattoo of Petunia on his arm, and he was just a kid. Why did he have a tattoo? I don't know. But this romance is apparently based on their real life romance, and I think that's so cute. And they have a little family now, so that makes it even cuter. It even says, Brooklyn-based aspiring writer Lucy has no trouble putting the comedy in her rom-coms. It's the romance part of the equation that's the problem. But even as the rejection slips pile up, her second dates dwindle, Lucy refuses to give up hope. Former child star Rudy made his mark on some of the most popular kids shows of the 90s, but that early success has pigeonholed him into a stand-up routine riffing on his past work, which is very much based on truth, it seems like. While the slick single life he envisioned was clearly a fantasy, he's actually ready for a relationship if he could just find someone uninterested in who he used to be. When they match online, they're eager to meet, but after their first date ends in a psychic's prophecy that is equal parts great fortune and certain doom, their flirty quips and their search for answers to some of life's big questions begins. So cute! I'm excited! This might be an April read because it does seem like it's got some nostalgic flair, or I could just read it randomly anytime throughout the year, but I'm definitely going to make this a priority for 2024, and I'm so pumped because I think I'm in my romance era now. I just read a lot of romance in November, and November of 2023, of course, which is right before when I record this in December of 2023, and I freaking had a great time with all the romance I read, and I don't even know who I am anymore. Who am I? In fact, my video of my wrap-up of my November reading said, who am I? So I think that's very appropriate. Next up is not really a specific book, but I just want to make sure I read any book by Rachel Harrison. Rachel Harrison is an author I have not dug into yet, and I think it's a crime, I think it's a shame. Literally every single one of my booktube friends has read a book by Rachel Harrison, and I feel like I'm the only one who has not. So it's time that I rectify that, and 2024 is when it's gonna happen. I know I keep saying that, but it's not gonna stop, so just get used to it, I guess. Whatevs, I'm so sorry. I repeat things, that's me. Next up, a book I was recommended by my friend Travis over on my public Discord. If you're interested, my public Discord is linked below. I do run a book club, which is where we talk about our book club reads. It's on the Discord, and I also have a live show. So go ahead and check out the link if you're interested in the Discord. But Travis on my Discord told me about Mark Lukens and how great of an author he is and how I should check him out. And specifically, he mentioned his book, The Exorcist's Apprentice. And this was originally published in 2015. I love a good possession or exorcism themed story, so I'm like, yes, that's all I need to know. I really don't know any extra details except for the kind of exorcist angle, and that's all I really need. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm in. Another 2023 lands on my 2024 list, and that is Red Rabbit. And this is by Alex Gresham. I hope I'm saying that right. I was so kindly sent this by the publisher, Tor Nightfire. Thank you so much, Tor Nightfire. And I'm excited to get to it, even though it's already been published. I was not sent this as a advanced reading copy, by the way. I was sent a finished copy, so I'm not late in reading it or anything. It had already been published when I was sent this. So it says,
saddle up, it's going to be a bloody ride. Every hired gun in Kansas is out to collect the bounty on Sadie's head, including bona fide witch hunter Old Tom and his mysterious mute ward Rabbit. On the road to Bergen County, they are joined by two vagabond cowboys and a strong sense of adventure, but no sense of purpose, and a recently widowed schoolteacher with nothing left to lose. As their posse grows, so too does the danger. Racing along the drought-stricken plains in a stolen red stagecoach, they encounter monsters more wicked than witches lurking along the dusty trail, but the crew is determined to get that bounty or die trying. It is an epic horror folktale.
And that sounds epic to me, and I am excited. I am pumped. I am ready. Book number 10 on my list is Where I End by Sophie White. I'm super, super jazzed to finally get to this. I've been saving it for about a year. I think I heard about it back in April of this year, and I'm so excited to get to it. I'm going to read it in the month of March in honor of St. Patrick's Day because the author is Irish, and it does take place in Ireland. So I'm very, very eager to see what this is like. I believe this actually was tied as a winner for the Shirley Jackson Award. So that is exciting. I've heard great things about it, and I'm really eager for March so I could dig in. Next up, By the Light of Dead Stars. This is one of my priority reads for the Read What You Own challenge. I'm trying to read a lot of books that I already own. This is by Andrew Van Wey. I also read another book by Andrew Van Wey that I freaking loved. It blew my mind, and that other book was Head Like a Hole. I enjoyed it so much. It had so many elements that I really liked, and it was super weird. I have a feeling this one will be weird too. For some reason, he's got a thing for books with tentacles on the cover, because Head Like a Hole had tentacles on the cover. This one has tentacles on the cover. Heck yes. Another read on my list that is another 2023 release is Lacuna's Point by Tim Meyer. I really enjoy Tim Meyer's work, so I'm super stoked to get to this. I may have it as a book club read for the year of 2024, so stay tuned for more info on that. My book club video will be coming very, very soon. And this is also going to be another weird read, just like I think By the Light of Dead Stars by Andrew Van Wey will be weird. I also think the Lacuna's Point book will be weird. However, I have heard in reviews and basically just heard whispers of this being a super slow burn, so I'm prepared. I don't mind a slow burn if the characters are interesting and if the story overall gets really good, especially near the end, so I don't mind a slow build up. So that's what I'm expecting. Essentially the premise:
today, Ellie receives a mysterious text message that leads her to believe her daughter might still be alive. She follows this rabbit hole to a coastal town of Lacuna's Point, but there's something wrong with that place.
I told you the theme was 2023 releases for some reason for this 24 books in 2024 list. So my next one, yeah, it's a 2023 release. It's Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. I have read a non-smutty book by Chuck Tingle. It was essentially kind of like about relationships that were non-sexual, and it was really heartfelt. It had a great message. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it, and I've heard so many good things about this. This is his first official full-length horror novel, I believe. The blurb says, a searing and earnest horror debut about the demons the queer community faces in America, the price of keeping secrets, and finding the courage to burn it all down. So it's kind of about a conversion camp and horrors going down there. I'm really interested to see how this book plays out. I know my friend Andrew from It Came From the Page read this and liked it. Katrina from Katrina Brown read this and liked it, so I think I'm gonna like it too. I hate to keep saying this, but this is another 2023 release on my list. Joey Leonard's Last Movie Marathon by Kevin Lucia. I've been wanting to check out a book by Kevin Lucia. He has a lot of books on Kindle, and this is one I found through there, and they all seem to have a nostalgic element to them, so you know that's right up my alley if you've been watching my channel for a little while. It says,
in Clifton Heights, NY, Showbiz Video, the last video rental store in Arendrix, is finally closing its doors for good. Though cinephile and store manager Joey Leonard has anticipated this moment for years, he's still crippled by the loss. The store's now deceased owner has willed him the entirety of the store's horror movies, and all Joey wants to do is drown his sorrows in booze and escape into a familiar, comforting ritual, a weekend horror movie marathon. However, among the tapes willed to him, he finds a strange home recording, which he initially passes off as a low-budget found footage movie. As he repeatedly watches it, however, it works an insidious change over him, fracturing his perception of reality and revealing to him a blasted and terrifying version of the world he knows.
Another book that's officially on my list is The Descent by Jeff Long. It's kind of chunky and I'm a little intimidated. That's why I'm putting it on the list so I can make it a priority. And it says, it's in the tradition of Jules Verne and H.G. Wells, The Descent is an epic adventure through fantastic landscapes among creatures for whom man is both God and meat. It is a horrifying mystery penetrating the realms of faith and reason, a raw and original questioning of the divine and the demonic. And finally, The Descent is the story of a man and a woman who enter the maze of the underworld and find at its center the human heart. This sounds incredible! I am so beyond ecstatic to check this out. I've had it on my shelves for a while, so why not make 2024 the year? Just do it. Don't be intimidated. Just get it done. By the way, this was originally published in 1999. Another book that was also on my priority reads that I'd like to get to for the Read What You Own challenge. This is Night Film, a book not from 2023. It's actually from 2013, so 10 years before 2023. I'm not reading all books from 2023 for this 24 list, so at least that's good. This one I've already talked about in this other video. I will link my 20 priority reads down below if you want to hear a little bit more about some of these books, but I'll just read you this blurb from People that says, it's a hair-raising mystery that's equal parts family drama, horror movie, and jigsaw puzzle. As the pieces come together, it is impossible to look away. I know my friend Crystal, just to mention her again, over at the channel Fiber Artsy, she enjoyed this. I know Haley Hughes enjoyed this. So lots of people have really liked this in the past, and I think I'm gonna like it too. Next up, a book I just stumbled upon when I was on Sprints, and I was, I think, looking on Storygraph, and I was sharing my screen, and I was like, oh look, you can browse similar books, you know, similar to your tastes and similar to the book you're looking at. And so I pressed it and this book came up and I clicked on it. One, the cover looked cool as hell, and two, the premise is like this book was written for me specifically. So the book is called Sabbath of the Fox Devils by Sam Richard. It was published in 2020, and the synopsis says,
after learning about the existence of a powerful grimoire through a cartoon, 12-year-old Joe is determined to find it and change his lot in life. But in doing so, he'll also uncover a local priest's dark secret and how it may be connected to Joe's brother abruptly leaving town 5 years ago. Part homage to the small creature horror films of the 80s like Ghoulies, Gremlins, and The Gate, and part splatterpunk take on a Goosebumps book Sabbath of the Fox Devils is a weird, diabolical coming-of-age horror story of self-liberation in an oppressive religious environment set during the Satanic Panic. Prepare your soul to revel in the darkness.
Like I said, just to reiterate, it's like it was written for me. I am stoked, jazzed, whatever freaking word I've been using this entire video to say that I'm pumped for this, but this one especially, if you had asked me like what book I'm the most excited for, even though I just discovered this book like a week ago and put it on the list, I think this might be the one I'm most excited for, just because it ticks off so many boxes of things I liked, like comparing it to Goosebumps, but like a splatterpunk version, a coming-of-age horror, paying homage to creature movies of the 80s, like The Gate, which I love, or Ghoulies, which also is ridiculous, but I kind of like it too. So yeah, I'm pretty much sold. I hope it's as good as I'm expecting it to be. I really hope it lives up to my expectations, because right now, just from the description alone, my expectations are kind of high, and I just hope it lives up to them. A book published in 2021, we have the Despicable Fantasies of Quinton by Preston Fassel, and I do own a copy of this. I just don't know where I put it, so I couldn't find it to film this video. However, the cover looks wild and bonkers. It's like half man, half dinosaur. I heard it has something to do with wrestling, I think, like professional wrestling, and I used to love professional wrestling. I still watch it. I'm just not as big of a fan. I used to have a podcast about it, so anything to do with wrestling, I'm still a little partial to. Just FYI. I kind of still like to read stuff involving that, and it's a little bit fun to see some wrestling references, especially in books sometimes. So I'm really intrigued by this. I think it's going to be another really weird, strange read, and you know what? The weirder, the better. That's what I say. So let's go. Bring it on. Yep. Another 2023 book. This one I'm really looking forward to. It definitely has a nostalgic vibe like a lot of other books on this list. This is Bad Movie Night by Patrick Lacey.
Welcome to So Bad, So Good, YouTube's most successful channel dedicated to trash cinema. This week we'll be watching and discussing the elusive horror flick Creepies. Some say the film is cursed, that its cast members died in unusual ways. Others claim the writers, producers, directors have gone into hiding because of the movie's macabre reputation. Countless viewers have experienced flashbacks to scenes within the film as if they themselves were characters. But surely those are just rumors, right? Let's fire up the VCR and find out. Grab some popcorn, crack open a cold one, and ignore the scratching in the walls.
VCR mention, yes. That is, again, right up my alley, so that's one of the reasons why it's on this list. An oldie, and also a classic on this list, is Watership Down by Richard Adams. This was on one of my lists for 2023, but I didn't get to it. It was a list of non-horror books that I really wanted to get to. I failed, though, at getting to Watership Down, and so that's why I'm making it a big priority for 2024. This was originally published in 1972, Group of Bunnies. It's about, their struggle to find a new home for their warren, and it's also about a lot bigger, more meaningful things than just the surface level story. There's a lot of metaphors and analogies in this book, and I've only seen the animation film adaptation, which I love. It's one of my favorite animated movies ever. I could go on and on about it, but I would really love to see what the book is like. I hear it's a little less gnarly than the actual animated movie, which is fine. I expect that. But I'm still going to read the book and then rewatch the movie and kind of compare and contrast the two. I love doing that with, a book compared to its film or TV adaptation. It's always so fun to compare and contrast two different things like that. So we will see what I think, if I'll like the book just as much, maybe more than the movie. I don't know. That's a tall bill to fill. I don't know if that's real. I don't know if that's a real saying, but if it is, then yay, I got it right. If it's not, just go with it, whatevs. I say weird things all the time. Please excuse me. But I think it could be a really fantastic read, and it feels like a classic that I should get to eventually. So why not in 2024? Another 2023 release, but it's another romance, and this is surprising. 2 romance freaking books on this list. Like I said earlier, don't even know who I am anymore. Crisis! Identity crisis! It's fine. So this one is the 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I just read The Dead Romantics in November of this year, 2023, which is the year I'm filming this in. and I was blown away. I loved it. I loved the depiction of grief. I liked the cute romance. I felt like it was mostly believable for a rom-com in terms of the relationship. Of course, it's not believable for her to, like, start falling in love with, like, a ghost, but otherwise, the dynamics in the relationship seemed believable. And I just thought the story was really heartfelt, really well done, and I really liked, like I said, the grief examination and the stuff, you know, basically concentrating on grief as well. So I'm really eager to read another book by her. So yes, the 7-Year Slip, everyone's raving about it. It was nominated for the Goodreads Awards in 2023. I want to see what it's all about for myself, and will I like it as much as The Dead Romantics? We'll just have to wait and see for 2024. The only middle grade book on this list, Small Spaces, it's the first book in the series. There's 4 books total. I've heard so many people rave about this book series. This is by Catherine Arden, and it's time I get to it. So I gotta quit procrastinating. I think I've wanted to read this for like a year and a half now. I think it's at least a year and a half old. Let's see, when was this originally published? I'm sure I have it written down here. Yeah, 2018. So I at least have had this on my TBR for a year and a half. So 2024, it's as good of a time as any. And look at this great cover. I hope it lives up to, you know, what everyone else says about it. And I hope I really love it as much as everyone else. Only 2 more books. So the second to last book is a sci-fi book. This is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I got really intrigued about this book after I saw my friend Kitty. She did a whole reading vlog in which she read Dark Matter, and it blew my mind. If you're not following Kitty, she's delightful. She's amazing. She's such a good time. I love her energy. I love her style. She's just one of a kind in the best way, like in the best sense of the phrase. I just truly adore her. Check out her channel. She's linked below, Spicy Cats Reads, and I was blown away by this vlog. I literally think whoever stumbles upon her reading vlog of Dark Matter will be convinced to read it, because just by seeing her go through it, and it like made her question everything, and she's like, oh my god, like I'm having so many thoughts, and she goes through the thoughts in the vlog. It's an amazing vlog, one of my favorite vlogs that I've watched this year. And like I said, if you watch this vlog, you will be sold on this book. So she sold me. This is her fault that it's on my list, and I'm gonna read it in honor of her. She really did love it. She gave it 5 stars, and she talked in depth about it in terms of like how it made her feel, what it made her think about, and I want to have a freaking like big eyes open kind of moment like she had, where it opens up my mind and I'm like, whoa, my whole mind is blown. I'm thinking of life differently. So hopefully I'll have that same reaction like Kitty had, and if not, I still can appreciate the way she reacted to it, and I'll have my own thoughts about it, but only actually reading it will tell, and I am ready to do that and to see what I think about it. Alright, it's time for the very last book, and that is Generation Lost by Elizabeth Hand. This was published in 2007, and it actually won the Shirley Jackson Award for Best Novel in 2007 as well. So the essential premise is
Cassinieri made her name in the 1970s as a photographer embedded in the burgeoning punk movement in New York City. Her pictures of the musicians and hangers-on, the infamous, the damned, and the dead got her into art galleries and a book deal, but 30 years later she is adrift, on her way down and almost out. Then an old acquaintance sends her on a Marcy gig to interview a famously reclusive photographer who lives on an island in Maine. When she arrives down east, Cass stumbles across a decades-old mystery that is still claiming victims, and into one final shot at redemption.
Sounds marvelous. It has really good ratings on Goodreads, and I can't wait. I can't wait for all of these books, to be honest. So that was my complete list, all 24 books that I'd love to get to that are priority reads for 2024. As I said earlier in the intro, do not forget, I have another list coming out that will be filled with paperbacks from hell, filled with vintage horror. So I did not forget it. It's still near and dear to my heart, and that is coming very soon. Also coming soon, some of these that I talked about might be mentioned in my book club video reveal. I have all my book club picks for the year of 2024 picked out. My book club is the Midnight Book Society, so check it out if you're interested. I will be releasing that announcement video very soon with all of the picks for the year of 2024. I'm so pumped. It's going to be a great year, I think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have you read any of these books? If so, what did you think about them? No spoilers, please. Let me know which books I should try to get to first off of this list, etc., etc. Any of your thoughts, leave them below. I love to read you guys' thoughts and interact with you. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my video, and also I appreciate Louisa for sponsoring the video. Thank you so much. Don't forget, guys, use that link in my description. There are pieces up to 35% off. Use the link now if you're looking for that special gift for yourself. You know, like I said, treat yourself, or for someone else that you know and you just want to give them a nice gift for the holidays. It could be a perfect opportunity, and you could be helping me out at the same time by showing Anna Louisa that you want them to partner with me more. Alright guys, but for this time, that is it for me. Till next time, you know what you can do. Keep on killing it. Bye guys!